Hello, hello. 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 Hello.
You have it smelling all nice and pretty.
Yeah, I do. Oh, can you? I actually walk downstairs with the sage just to make sure it kind of flows in all the corners.
Oh, yeah. I forgot my mat,
Oh, do you want to? We have another one in the corner. Would you like another one?
No, I mean, it's good.
Oh, okay.
I just get used to it, but sometimes I wash it, and sometimes I just put it out on the line
Uh-huh.
to brush it. And I brought it in so it wouldn't get wet. Then I forgot to take it. This goofy mat. I bought it because I liked how big it was.
Uh-huh.
And so when I'm doing a kneeling pose, because my knees are protected.
Right. Does it work?
It has a permanent curl.
Oh. Flip it over, it still curls up.
Yeah. And you know, I can't keep the downside down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Every now and then I'll take it home, sanitize it, hang it up there.
I didn't think about hanging it on the line. That's actually a good idea. I don't know why I never did that. I washed mine the other day in the bathtub. I filled it with some warm water and a little bit of soap and stuff, and I was flabbergasted, embarrassed. I know I wipe it down all the time, but it was dirty.
Yeah, especially when it rains,
Mm-hmm.
because the rainwater
Right.
Gets evenly soaked and it's fresh.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's try that. We have pretty good. How about yours?
Good. I've had better.
Have you?
Yeah.
I'm just glad to see the sunshine and the little. Yeah. Hello. Sage.
Is this your I noticed it's new to the studio.
This platter?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think they usually have it in the corner and it stays over there, but just because I can't see the clock and I hate to check my phone in the middle of class, I don't want to be rude. I'm going to send a text. So I like it to keep it here because of the clock. But I think it looks pretty too.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
It was over there the other day.
And I think it was downstairs for a really long time. So yeah. So I think but I think yeah.
And I know when Katie took over the downstairs space, she brought in some cool things.
I'm going to run and lock the door real quick, ladies. But who's counting? We are now snug as a bug. So we are going to start on our mats in supine position. So on our backs and we're going to take a block. Hello, Julie at home. And you look at you. That's fine. That's perfect. I'm going to start. Let's first just stretch out. Come into a full body stretch on this beautiful Thursday evening. Point your toes. Arms come up overhead. Clasp your fingers together and shine your palms towards the back of the room. And stay here for 2 whole breaths. Big inhale. And hold it at the top for 5, 3, and then release. Big, long exhale, letting it all go. Do that again. Big inhale together. Really filling up your lungs and your belly. And holding it again at the top for 5, 3, and 1. Releasing all the way out, emptying your lungs, really pushing the air out. And releasing the stretch, bringing your arms down toward your sides and planting one foot on the mat and then your other foot. Push up through your feet, lifting your hips. We're going to place a block underneath our sacrum. And for Julie, you at home, if you don't have a block, a blanket or a pillow, just opening up here. And take a moment to adjust. Don't want any other block on your spine. Bring your arms out to a T. Once you have your block placed, and just let your body settle in. You can keep your knees bent. You can bring your feet together and let your knees come out wide. Or extend your legs long. Whatever feels good to you. Being aware of your lower back, not placing any arch into your lower back. Bringing your belly button toward your spine. Just a slight tuck in your tailbone. Not putting any pressure on our back, just relaxing, opening up, letting our hips fall out to the side. Arms are out to a T. Finding your breath. Take a moment to reflect on your day. And think about the awesomeness that happened, the awesome moments. Maybe there were moments that were not so awesome. There were also moments that got your attention. One of mine was walking into the studio this evening. And there was this beautiful bird that was just soaring around the space next door. And I don't even think he was hunting. He was just playing and just taking dives and dips. And it caught my attention. I just stood there for 20, 30 seconds in awe. Maybe finding those moments in your day today. Finding yourself melting into the mat. Another inhale and exhale. And if your feet are not planted on the floor, bringing the bottoms of your feet to the mat. And very slowly lift your right knee up towards your chest. And extend your leg long. And then follow with your left knee, extending your leg long. Begin to push out through your heels and then point your toes. Push out through your heels, really kicking in those hamstrings and then pushing out through your toes. Continue this flow. Maybe begin to roll your ankles. Ooh. And coming back to push through your heels. Get to lock your knees out. Legs are long and strong. And if your knees want to bend, just slowly lower your feet, just an inch or two, allowing your legs to straighten. And we're going to begin to take a forward fold. Here, keeping our shoulders and our head planted firmly on the mat as we slowly bring our knees in towards our nose. Again, our head, our shoulders are on the mat. Just letting our knees flow in towards our chest or our nose. And then releasing, coming back up to legs straight. And again, maybe this time coming in a little deeper. Trying to release our lower back. And again, those hamstrings, those are tight if we've been sitting a lot today. And you can continue this flow, just making micro movements back and forth. Or maybe it feels good to let your feet hang heavy. Pointing down towards your mat, towards your head. And again, that push through the heels. Inhale and exhale, slowly release. As you slowly start to lower your right foot down to the mat, bending into the knee, planting your foot firmly, and then releasing your left foot. Push up through your feet, release your hips, and slowly remove your block. Staying with your hips up, slowly start to lower yourself down vertebrae by vertebrae, starting with your upper back. Slow movement here, middle back. And then finally, your lower back comes to rest on the mat. Giving yourself a moment here to sink in. And then right knee comes into your chest, and then left knee, wrapping your arms around, giving yourself a hug, rolling from side to side, pulling your knees in towards your body. And slowly pull your knees out wide. Soles of your feet touch. Feeling the stretch in your glute. Bring your arms inside of your legs so your elbows graze the inside of your knees. And reach for the outside edges of your feet, coming into happy baby. Staying still or rolling from side to side. And extend your right foot long. Again, pushing out through your heel. We're going to hold this for just a moment. Active stretch. And then extending your left leg out long, pushing through your heels. And your hands can be around your ankles or your feet, or maybe peace fingers around your big toes. And notice that your legs are now in a V. And slowly allow your legs to open up and hang heavy, widening the V. Feeling your inner thigh, your adductors, starting to say hello to you. And slowly placing your hands on the outsides of your ankles, guide your legs back together. Bringing your arms down long to your body, Palms can be up or down, whatever feels good to you. And one last push through your heels. As you slowly lower your right foot to the mat, and then your left foot. Taking note that your lower back is connected to the mat, your whole spine is on the mat, adjusting that belly button back to the spine if you need to. And heel toe your feet out to the wide edges of the mat. Arms come out to a T. And if you normally keep your palms up, flip your palms. If you normally flip your palms, flip them up. Just noticing a difference. And allow your knees to float in towards one another. Then very slowly start to windshield wiper your knees back and forth, starting with small controlled movements. And allow the movements to get deeper as your inside knee starts to lower further down into the mat. When your knees go over to the left, your right hip lifts off the mat. When they go over to the left, the right hip will lift. That's fine. Just deepening the stretch, feeling it through our hip flexors. And when your knees fall over to the right side, allow them to settle in. Maybe releasing your feet. I always want to grip the mat with my feet still, so releasing to the outside edge of your right foot, inside edge of your left foot. Gaze comes over your left shoulder. And if this feels good here, you can stay here, or if you'd like to deepen the stretch, lift your right foot and place the outside edge of your right foot on the outside edge of your left knee, allowing the weight of your foot to deepen your stretch. And just sink in here to the mat. Finding your breath, deep breaths. And on your exhale, if you have your foot over your knee, release your knee, placing it on the edge of the mat, and it begin to roll over onto your spine and start to windshield wiper your knees back and forth. Just releasing for a moment. And knees come over to the left side. Gaze over your right shoulder. An option to stay here or lift your left foot, allowing the inside edge of your left foot to cross over to the outside edge of your right knee. Allowing the weight of your foot to bring your knee lower to the mat, deepening the stretch. Another breath here. And exhale. If your foot is on top of your knee, release your foot. Roll back over onto your spine. You can bring your knees in, doesn't matter which knee you start with, to your chest, really pulling your knee into your chest and then lifting your other knee, hugging it tight, shoulders on your mat. Pulling here. And then slowly start to rock back and forth, And if that doesn't work for you, you can roll over into your side and push yourself up into a seated position. And we're going to start with our seats in the middle of our mat. And bring a block with you, maybe a block at each side. And in my favorite seated position, bear pose, bringing your feet out to the wide edges of the mat. Your feet can be on the bottom of the mat. Your bottom of your feet can be touching the mat or rolling over onto the side edges, whatever feels good. Taking the meat from your seat, you sit forward and elbows come inside of your knees. And just settle in here for a moment. Tall spine, neck is in line with the spine. And we're slowly going to start to windshield wipe our knees. Back and forth. Hands can be behind you. And allow both knees to slowly glide over and settle to the right side of your mat. Take note that you're at a 90-90 here with your legs. Then placing a block behind you. Allowing your right hand to rest on the block. You push yourself in an upright position, sitting very tall. Our shoulders are away from the ear, so we're not really pushing our shoulder up, just pushing the block away from us, allowing our spine to become very straight. And notice the stretch on the left side of your body, all through your IT band. Like to deepen the stretch, just push through your right palm. Showing a little love there. We don't feel it very often. And release your hand from the block and place your hands on the floor on both sides of your right knee. And slowly, as you bend through your elbows, begin to lower your sternum down towards the inside of your right knee. Slow movement, allowing yourself to feel heavy. And inhale, pushes you back up. And exhale, lower. Straight spine. Maybe allowing your head to flow all the way down. And inhale pushes you back up. Releasing just your right hand. Allow your right hand to flow behind your left wrist. As you slowly bring your right shoulder to the inside of your right knee. You can grab onto your toe. That's my favorite place to grab, or your foot, or place your hand on the mat. Doesn't matter. Just threading the needle in this twisted position. And push through your left palm. Breathe over your left shoulder. Inhale and exhale. Slowly start to bring your body back up. As we come back and shift over back into the bear pose. Adjusting as necessary, so we're not leaning back, sitting up tall and dignified, and allow your knees to slowly start to windshield wiper over again from side to side. And this time, knees are coming over, landing over to the left. Again, checking your 90-90. Bringing that block behind you. And placing your left hand on the block. Tall, straight spine. Neck is in alignment. Starting to feel the stretch on your right IT band. Perhaps even your inner right adductor. Like to deepen the stretch, push through your palm. And then exhale, releases your hands on both sides of your, excuse me, left knee. As you bend through your elbows, starting to bring your sternum down to your chest. And inhale brings you back up. And exhale lowers you down. Allowing yourself to settle in here. Maybe bringing your forehead to the floor, close to the floor. This time feeling it in your left glute. Inhale brings you back up. As you release your left hand, gliding your left hand behind your right wrist and through, threading the needle. As you twist and bring your left shoulder to the inside of your left knee, grabbing your toe or your foot, or just placing your palm wherever's comfortable. Gaze comes over your right shoulder, straighten through your right arm, push through your palm. Deep spinal twist. Inhale and exhale, feeling yourself settle. And then inhale slowly brings you up. Taking your time as you push yourself up and start to untwist. No rush. That was a deep stretch. Coming into a seated position. And we'll be here for a few moments. For me, it's more comfortable if I bring my calves out a little further in front of me. Helps me lean forward. So whatever works for you. Again, making sure that you're on your sit bones, and then taking a block in your hand. Place a block, or Julie, for you at home, a pillow or a book, or you can just imagine something's there. It's just the motion we're going through. Place it out in front of you, like you're going to serve something on a platter, and then tuck your elbow in to your side. We're going to work on our rotator cuff. So inhale slowly, start to hinge just at the elbow, serving the person over on your left. And then exhale brings you back, serving the person in front of you. Don't know what all you have on your platters, but just keep serving to the person to the left and the person in front. Nothing else is moving except for your rotator cuff. And we're not trying to get the block behind our body, because then we lose that isolation. We're just bringing it back and forth here. Working a spot that doesn't get worked very often. Then two more, and we'll place it in our right hand. Again, this is all at your own pace. And whenever you're ready, tucking the elbow on your right arm. Maybe you have the same thing on your platter, maybe it's something different, and we're slowly going to serve the person over to our right. And then bringing it back in, serving the person in front. This is making me hungry. I'm thinking about what's on my platter, and I'm like, oh, And then one more in slow motion. Extending your right arm out in front of you, keeping your block in your arm. Slowly start to, I grab it with my pinky and my thumb too, so it doesn't fall, because we will be moving this block over. Slowly start to bring the block, circle it around behind you, really stretching through your arm, and then reaching through with your left arm behind you, grabbing the block, and then bringing it out. It doesn't matter how you grab it, end to end. Point is in the stretch. When his arms out in front of you, push through your shoulders. Long arms behind you. And then reverse the direction. Behind you, shoulder blade, scapula comes together. Arms are up high and release. And then when the block is out in front of you, shoulder blades are separated. Really a deep stretch. And then releasing the block down in front of you or to the side, actually. Placing your hands out to your side. Let's switch which foot is on top. Reverse here. And placing your arms out to the side, slowly start to shift just gently from side to side. Your neck is in line, your back, maybe even closing your eyes here. Thinking of that bird that was flying. The freedom he must feel just gliding through the air. And begin to make larger and larger movements. And then planting your right hand on the mat as your left arm comes up and over. And you lean over into the right side. Palm is down, facing down towards the mat. And then glance up and notice if you see your elbow. You can see your elbow. Always start to shift your elbow, pull your elbow back behind you. It's a big move here. And it's hard. I know it's hard. Bring your gaze up towards your elbow. And come on your fingertips of your right hand. And slowly walk your fingertips out just a little bit. It can be a micro inch or just an inch. Planting your palm down, deepening the stretch, keeping both hips on the mat. And keeping your right hand firmly planted, begin to release your left arm down towards your side, staying shifted over to the right. Palm is towards the mat. And allow your arm to float down to about hip level. And hello, neck. Feel the stretch in your neck. And your left neck, activate. Begin to flip your palm. Rotate your thumb towards the back of the room. And rotating it up and back, and internal, external rotation, rolling your shoulder. And exhale slowly, slide your hand in and release. Both hands come back down to the floor. And again, beginning our movement here from side to side. Eventually landing in the stretch on the other side. Big movements. And left palm comes down to the mat. Right arm comes up and over. Side stretch. Taking a moment here to notice if you're leaning back. And I say that because I was adjusting yourself forward back onto your sit bones. Bring your gaze over your right shoulder. If you see your elbow, try to pull your elbow back behind you. On fingertips of your left hand, slowly walk your fingers out. Just a little bit, just deepening your stretch, planting your palm back down. And again, making sure you're not rolling back. I'm saying that as a note to myself. Inhale and exhale. Begin to release your right arm down beside you as you stay over on this twist to the side. Palm is facing the ground or the floor. And allow your palm, your right palm, to hover right at hip level. Begin to rotate your thumb internally and externally. So rotating it down towards the mat behind you, flipping your palm up, and then rotating it back up. Palm is up, thumb faces the back. Continue through this 2 more times at your own pace, feeling the stretch all the way from your neck all the way down to the inside of your left wrist. And inhale, slowly release. Shake out our arms to the side as if we're flicking water off our hands, releasing our shoulders. Inhale and exhale. Slowly bring your chin to your chest and just let your head hang heavy here for a moment. Again, closing your eyes if that feels good. Tongue off the roof of your mouth. Lips parted. Finding your softness. Inhale, flipping your palms up, start to float your arms up towards the sky. Bring your gaze up. Palms touch, stretch out through your fingertips. Really push through your fingertips. Palms touch, and then exhale. Hands come to heart center. Bringing your arms out to a T, thumbs up. Inhale, slowly start to bring your hands behind you. And as you do this, start to bring your chin back a little bit. Aligning your neck with your spine and not having our chin hinge forward. So straight neck and spine, holding your arms up. A lot of strength here. And then exhale, release. We give ourselves a hug, so crossing left arm over right. Bringing our hands back to our shoulders. Then come up on your fingertips and just slowly walk your hands a little bit further around you. Inhale and exhale. Slowly begin to release your arms. Bringing your arms out to the side. Again, thumbs up. You can bring your hands behind your shoulders. Tuck that chin. So you're tucking it behind you. Pulling it behind you. And then exhale. Opposite arm on top. Giving yourself another hug. Pulling your fingertips into your back, your shoulders, walking them closer together. And then exhale, release. You're going to do that one more time with the option of another hug or eagle arm. So thumbs up. See if you can get your shoulders back a little bit further, really shining your chest. And then exhale, right elbow on top. And again, option for hug, continue on through the hug, or twisting your forearms coming into eagle arms. Settling here for a moment, and inhale, elbows rise up to your nose, in line with your nose, and exhale, the lowers down. Inhale, elbows up towards your nose. Maybe this time a little bit higher, really feeling the stretch, and exhale, lower. Slowly start to unwind your arms. And one last stretch through your shoulders. Thumbs come up behind you, shine your chest. And then slowly bring your arms together, opposite arm on top. Again, hug or eagle arms. Yogi's choice. And inhale. Slowly rise your eagle arms, elbows up toward your nose. Even if you're in a hug, elbows can come up to your nose. And exhale, lower down. Inhale. Elbows come up in line with your nose. And then exhale, lower down. Releasing your arms out to your side. Bringing your legs out long in front of you. If you need to give them a little shake, you can do so. Got a creaky ankle tonight. You can start to curl your toes back toward your body. Noticing how your ankles lift off the mat, feeling the stretch in your Achilles tendon. And then exhale, release. Crossing right ankle over your left. Notice how it pulls your body forward, pulls you automatically on your sit bones. You can push out through your heels as you slowly begin to lower, just hinging at the hips, lowering your chest toward your knees, not trying to touch. Allow your exhales, bring you a little bit lower. And inhale brings you back up. Uncross your ankles. And then cross opposite. So left ankle comes on top, pulling you forward. Push out through your heels. Inhale and exhale. Hinge at the hips. And closing your eyes. Just settling here, relaxing into the stretch. Even though it's very active, deep stretch. And exhale, release. Uncross your ankles. And come back into crisscross applesauce as we slowly roll over, coming into a tabletop position. And taking a moment to adjust, hips and knees are in alignment, shoulders, elbows, and wrists. And take any organic movements you need here. Maybe swaying your hips from side to side, wagging the dog, figure eights with your hips, anything that feels good just for you. And then picking up your hands, slowly reverse your fingers. So your fingers now are facing, pointing at your knees. And settling in. I'm going to flow through a cat-cow here. It's working on a strength and stretching our inner arms, upper arms. So inhale, push through your palms, chin toward your chest. Push through your shoulders, gaze between your knees, arching your back. And then exhale, release. Hammock your belly down, roll your shoulders back, tailbone comes up, gaze is out in front of you. And again, inhale, push through your palms, chin to chest, tucking your tailbone, holding this pose for just a moment. And then exhale, slowly release. Back into a cow hammock in your belly, shoulders back. And release, coming back to neutral spine. And go ahead and release your wrist, taking the time to roll them out in each direction before you plant them back down. We're going to go through some lateral cat cows. So coming back into cat, pushing through your palms, pushing out through your shoulders, chin comes to your chest, tucking your tailbone. Slowly start to hinge over to the right side as if there's a big ball or barrel underneath your body. Staying in cat position, you begin to lower down underneath the barrel, bending through your elbows. Coming into a bended elbow cow pose. And slowly shifting your weight over to the left side. And once you start to come around the barrel, pushing up through your palms, coming into cat. Do that one more time. No right or wrong. You'll know what feels good to you. It's a little different version here. Really extending through your side body in this cat-cow. And once you've completed the barrel twice, reversing the direction, shifting over to your left. Once you come around the side of the barrel or the ball, bending the elbows. Start to come into cat position with bended elbows. Over to the right. You start to round around the ball or barrel, pushing through your palms, ending back in cat on top. And one more time. Coming back to a neutral spine. Plant your left hand midline in your body, and then place your right hand out to the side. So you're still in tabletop hands. Both hands are planted firmly on the mat. Just a little cockeyed here. And slowly start to hinge your hips and shift your weight over to your left side. I'm sorry, I think I told you guys wrong. Right hand is planted midline and left hand is out to the side. Let me start that over. Sorry about that. And then shifting over to the left. So allowing your left glute to sink here. Arms are straight and straight. If you'd like to bend an elbow and even go deeper, that's fine. Your stretch. And inhale, slowly rise. Bringing your hands back to tabletop. And your left hand comes in midline. Your right hand comes out to the side. And slowly allow your body to hinge all the way over to the right. Sinking in, feeling this deep stretch in your right glute, even in your IT band. And inhale, coming back up and adjusting your hands back to tabletop. I'll go through a couple of my favorite here, the shoulder dips. So taking a bend into your right elbow. Slowly start to release your right shoulder down towards the ground. Gaze comes over, left shoulder. And release. Shoulder dip on the other side, bend into the left elbow, left shoulder comes towards the ground, gaze comes over your right shoulder. You can repeating, taking a bend into your right elbow, gaze over left shoulder. And bend into your left elbow, gaze over your right. And we're going to do this again, only coming down all the way onto our forearms, taking a bend into your right elbow, all the way down onto your right forearm. Begin to push through your left palm, deepening your stretch. Bring your gaze over your left shoulder. Holding here for just another moment. And exhale, release. Bending your left elbow, coming down on your left forearm. Gaze comes over your right shoulder. Push to your right palm. Deep stretch. And inhale, coming back up. Bring your right arm out in front of you with your thumbs up. And slowly begin to bring your left arm all the way up to a point where it just won't come any further. Then flip your palm and begin to bring it all the way around you, making a big circle. Nothing else is moving except for your right shoulder. Obviously, your right arm's moving, but the work is coming from your right shoulder. And when your thumb starts to graze the mat, reverse the direction. Noticing how you lift through your pinky, and all of a sudden your arm won't go any further. And then flipping your palm and coming back over. And do this one more time. This time as you start to push, as you start to lift your arm, push out through your middle fingers. You're really trying to touch the walls around you, deepening the stretch. And then reversing. And then releasing your right hand. Left arm comes out in front of you, thumbs up. And again, inhale, push out through your middle fingers. And reach the wall in front of you. and lift your arm up. When it won't go any further, flip your palm to the side of the room and continue to roll your shoulder. As your thumb grazes the mat, reversing the direction. Active stretch here, so push through your fingers. And reversing. Bless you. It's spring. Bringing your knees out to the wide edges of the mat, big toes touch. Start to sink back on our heels. We're going to keep our arms straight and long in front of us. We sit completely back onto our heels and push through our palms. And once we have sunken as low as we can, begin to slowly walk your hands out. And you can bring a block with you if you'd like to place a block under your forehead, even just for something different. And lower down, pushing through your palms, pushing your glutes back towards your heels. And releasing, head to a block or to the mat. Whatever's working for you tonight. Keep this stretch active by pushing through your palms. Arms are long and straight in front of you. And then inhale and bring you up, back up to tabletop. If you have a block in front of you, remove it. Then slowly begin to lower down onto your bellies. Coming into Crocodile Pose for just a moment. Your elbows are bent in front of you at 90-degree angles. Your feet are splayed out wide to the wide edges of your mat. Maybe the insides of your feet are resting. And just lower your head down, letting yourself settle for just a moment before we go into half frog. I know that's one of Miss Deborah's favorites, so we're going to make sure we do that tonight. Get to notice your breath. Bring your breath to your lower back. And to really expand through your lower back. Inhale and exhale. Really pushing out the exhale. This is a lower back stretch in itself. Another big inhale. And exhale. Slowly start to lift or slide your right knee out to the side, bringing it at a 90-degree angle from your body, allowing your hip to settle in, coming into half frog, and extending your left arm out long in front of you, the long arm. Placing your left cheek in your hand, or your shoulder, wherever it lands. Begin to make this stretch active, as though the floor was pushing the inside of your knee, starting to rise up, or maybe even pushing down with the inside of your knee. Instead of just resting, activating your adductor and your glutes, feeling this through your right hip flexor. And slowly start to slide your right hand underneath your right shoulder. As you begin to push off through your right shoulder, Rolling yourself over onto your spine, onto your back. Keeping your right knee over midline and bringing your arms out to a T, going into a spinal twist. Allowing the inside of your right knee to hang heavy. Gaze is up at the ceiling. Finding your breath again. And inhale, slowly lifting through your right arms. Sticking your right arm over to the side as you roll yourself back over onto your belly into crocodile arms. Taking your left knee out to the side at a 90-degree angle. Right arm extends long in front of you. Left cheek comes to your hand or your inside your shoulder. And begin to make the stretch active. Begin pushing the floor away from you, or maybe the floor is pushing into the inside of your knee. Engaging your left hip flexor. And finding your breath. Slowly begin to slide your left hand under your left shoulder. Begin to push the mat away from you, rolling over onto your spine. Watching out for any blocks. Rolling over, bringing your arms out to a T. Keeping your left knee over midline, allowing the inside of your left knee to hang heavy. Inhale big and hold it this time for 5, 3, and big exhale, letting everything out. Slowly start to lift through your left arm as you allow your left arm to bring your body back over onto your belly. Placing your right elbow in front of you, bent into half crocodile arm. Really start to bend through your left leg, bringing your left heel towards your left glute, and then reach back with your left hand, grabbing the inside of your foot or the outside of your foot. Stretching out your quad. Bring your right cheek to the mat or your hand if that feels good. And to really activate this stretch, begin to push through the top of your foot as though you were trying to push your hand away from you. Stretching, building a little strength. And then exhale, release. Switching arms out in front, left arm comes on front, half crocodile. Bend through your right knee, bringing your right heel towards your right glute, and reach back with your right hand. Grabbing what is accessible to you. Left cheek can come to the mat or your hand. Begin to pull your heel into your glute. And to activate the stretch even more, begin to push the top of your foot as though you're trying to push your hand away from you. Inhale and exhale. Release. Legs come out long. Bringing your palms just underneath your shoulders. You have to push up. Maybe a mini back bend, a little bit cobra, pushing up through your spine. Taking a slight bend into your elbows. Taking a wiggle a little bit here. And then exhale, release. Coming into full bow. Bending through your right knee and your left knee. Reaching back with your right hand to grab your right foot. And reaching back with your left hand, grabbing your left foot. An option here, this is difficult. You can bring your knees out to the wide edges of the mat. We're keeping them close together, depending on what your body feels like tonight. Shoulders off the mat. Gaze is out just in front of you, coming into full bow. And if it's in your practice on the inhale, slowly start to lift your thighs off the mat. Bring your shoulder blades together, shoulders come up. Pushing again against your hands with the tops of your feet. And then exhale, release. Releasing your feet. And pushing through your palms as you lift your body up. Knees are out wide. And coming back into a final child's pose of the evening. Again, playing with your blocks if you'd like a block underneath your head, or maybe your arms are long behind you. Maybe you have bent elbows. Your hands are resting by your head. Just release here for a moment and find space in your lower back. Deep breaths here, inhale and exhale. We're slowly going to make our way into our final resting pose, Shavasana. So options, you can just slide out if you'd like to come into Shavasana on your belly, or if you'd like to come onto your seat, swinging your legs out to the side, staying in a seated position. We're coming all the way onto your back, grabbing a blanket or a sweatshirt or anything like to cover yourself or roll underneath your neck. Let's take one final breath together as a class. A big giant inhale in and hold it at the top for 5. And then exhale. Just letting yourself melt into the mat, finding the softness within you. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back to the room. Sounds of the tires on the wet pavement. Part of the music of our life. And small movements. Keeping your eyes closed. You can stay here for another moment or slowly make your way to your favorite side. Whenever you're ready, begin to bring yourself up to a seated position. Bringing your hands to heart center. And bowing your head. Again, thinking about the awesomeness and the awe in our lives. Sometimes we miss when we get busy, and it's all around us all the time. I wish for you is that your day tomorrow and the weekend is filled with pure awe. You find joy in the simple things. You find peace and love and happiness within yourself and from others. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Sorry for the sound effects out there. I was like, do I get up and close the window? Do I not close it? I think it rained. Yeah. There's the windows are just, yeah. I don't think it rained hard though. So if the wind stayed. Thank you, Julie, at home. Do you